Hello, who are you and where are you from?
Well, my name is Czeslaw Szerszen. I go by Adam. It's much more easier to stay in the United States and use my middle name. I was originally born in Poland. I traveled the world and finally I settled down in the United States and I am US citizen. I'm very grateful for, giving me this chance to become one and I simply enjoy my life right now traveling.
And we are here in Mendocino, California.
Absolutely.
And so, has the climate changed much since you were a kid?
Oh, absolutely. I think that actually, the climate change has been politicized very much so. Being Polish and living under communist, regime, I definitely, lean towards right, but I cannot deny that climate change is real.
And you told me before the interview that you used to play hockey, and they used to put the water on small ponds for hockey. And
I was born and raised in Poland, so as a kid, let's say, before starting my grammar school, it was very common thing in Poland. Each and every school actually pours the water like end of October, beginning of November, so the kids could use it and play hockey, do skating, etc. And I stayed in Poland till I was 22. But within this period of 15 years, definitely the weather has changed. And when I was living in Poland, when I was 22, practically, if you pour water in November, expecting to create a skating ring, it was almost funny because weather has changed dramatically, and you couldn't even have, let's say, a couple of solid weeks of temperatures under freezing point. So practically this practice was abandoned.
And you moved around quite a bit, and you saw the same happening in Russia, right?
Yeah. I was, I moved to Russia when I was 32 years old. Right now I'm 63, so you can do the math when it was. But it was like 1992, 94. And actually, when I went to Russia, it was kind of a weird experience because I felt like, pre-communist Poland. It was a time when Russia was, Russian Federation was falling apart. But one of the things which I noticed, it was the same habit of Russian school kids doing the same thing in neighborhoods and school, pouring the water end of October, even earlier, because it was much more colder climate, and doing the same thing which we've done in Poland, let's say 20 years ago, creating this skating rinks, and so they could go skating and play hockey. But as time passed, and I spent in Russia more or less like 22 years, I noticed the same thing. As time passed, less and less people get involved in creating the skating rinks because the temperature couldn't stay below freezing point for longer than, let's say, 2-3 weeks. Even though when I got to Russia, let's say in mid-90s, I mean, you had a solid temperatures under freezing point for 3 months through. Nobody was even considering that it could change.
And what about now? Are you concerned about weather climate on a regular basis? And on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most concerned, how concerned would you say you are?
You know what? I will tell you sincerely, I am not concerned at all. Maybe it can surprise you, but in my opinion, I can do zero regarding this issue. I think that entire world is run by greed, and greed always wins. If you look through all the centuries of so-called our civilization, we weren't ruled by wisdom. We were ruled by greed. The more greedy you became, the better you are off. And average person who thinks that can do something like a small dent, maybe you can do a dent, but not more than that. Rich people will always move to places if even the sea level will rise they have enough money to move to another place. I mean, as always, average person will pay the price.
And what about the future? Are you an optimist, or do you think things will work themselves out, or are you a pessimist and you think it might be disastrous in the future? And is there anything we can do about it?
Well, I'm not, I just take the things the way they go. I don't think that I'm optimistic or pessimistic. I think that I personally can do very little or nothing, even if I try, because the money rules the world. So, if, let's say, somebody would come out with things where you can make money, big bucks on, climate change, it will be pushed forwards. Otherwise, not.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you very much on this day, the 3rd of April, here in Mendocino, California. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.